Andy's Man Club started in Halifax just close to 5 years ago. A young man named Andy Roberts was a 23-year-old lad. He was, a young father, a brother, a son, nephew, and appeared that he had the world at his feet and that there were no issues. One day, without any sign, signal, or warning, Andy took his own life. Now, Luke, who is his brother-in-law, and his mum Elaine were of the opinion that if Andy had had somewhere to go without fear of judgment, without the fear of the stigmas that a lot of men within the world feel, that it's like that it would still be around. So that's what they set about trying to achieve. Luke decided that he was going to start a coffee club for men. Let's be quite honest, there's no problem in the UK that can't be solved by putting the kettle on. So he decided that, again, a nice relaxed atmosphere and a nice sort of simple solution to what is a complex and, complicated issue such as suicide and mental health. A simple solution is normally quite effective. So as a result of that, Luke started Andy's Man Club here in Halifax from a Facebook post, really. He put that Facebook post out and 9 guys showed up to the very first ever Andy's Man Club. In a place like Halifax, with the sort of staunch, inward-thinking guys around mental health especially, for 9 guys to show up to something like that, again, showed that there was a clear need for it to happen.
I attended that very first meeting. There were 9 of us, and it was such a powerful meeting. We knew at the end of the meeting that we had something that was really, really beneficial, and we wanted to share that with as many men as we could in the United Kingdom.
Luke's initial plan was to have 10 clubs in 5 years, and as I said, we're now in a position where we have 43, with probably by the time we turn 5 more than 50. Again, it shows that clear need for Andy's Man Club to exist. It shows that more and more men, especially at the moment during a pandemic and what have you, are in need of somewhere to go and reach out and be able to talk and not be judged and feel the stigma around male mental health. Andy is our why here at Andy's Man Club, and we're never forgetting of that.
It was January 2019. I got told about it through a police officer. I hit quite a dark patch in my life. On this day, I attempted to jump off a bridge. Paramedics come, police come, and on the off chance they mentioned about Andy's Man Club. Now, I'd never heard anything like this before, and I was a bit in two minds. So I've always grown up playing rugby, and I've always been kind of like, well, we don't talk about your emotions or anything like that. So I was in kind of like two minds. But I took the first step in going, and it's changed my life drastically. I have depression, I have anxiety, and just recently I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So it's quite. Obviously, I've had my struggles in the past. There's been a lot that's gone on over these last few years. I've attempted suicide. I've tried to overdose. And I think that these places that are available now, like a safe, judgmental places, it's amazing for people like myself that thought there were nothing like this available. Who thought, well, you go and you just get laughed at. So yeah, I definitely think it's helped.
There is a stigma with men talking about their feelings. They're perceived as weak, or they get told to man up or stop booing, or all of these different, sort of judgmental comments that, don't get me wrong, up until probably around about 4 years ago, I was probably guilty of using them. That was an attitude that I changed once I'd approached this sort of these sort of things within my own life. But I think because of those attitudes and, systemic comments and the way that men's mental health has historically been treated, that, men shouldn't be feeling like, men shouldn't talk about the feelings. It's weak. It's those whole reasons of weakness, burden and embarrassment, I think, are the 3 major reasons behind men not speaking. They don't want to be perceived as weak. They don't want to be told to man up or shut up your girl or any of those sort of things. They don't want to be a burden to anybody else. They don't want to be saying to lads, oh, I'm feeling this way, and for everybody else, I haven't really got time, past sorry. And this, the whole thing with sort of lad culture and things like that, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want it to be used against them when somebody else is, making a comment further down the line that, oh, well, you can't talk about it because, you're doolally tap or whatever it might be. Those three reasons, in my opinion, are the reasons why men don't speak. The fact that we're challenging them to such a degree can only help that, I think. From my experience, when given a platform to, men are very, very good at talking about their feelings. When they are feeling in a safe environment, that they won't be judged, that they won't feel any of those stigmas that we've already discussed. Those whole, when those are taken away, men feel very, very comfortable to talk about their feelings. The more that can be encouraged, the more that we get people with a platform talking about their issues, talking about, their feelings, and showing that actually, a lot of the guys that we've had promotional talks with are boxers and things like that, and they are supposed to be the epitome of masculinity. The fact that they're out there saying it's okay to talk, the more people that do it, the more opportunities for men to be able to speak out and talk about their issues and things like that, the better it'll get.
If you sat around in the pub and someone says, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit down today," guarantee you 9 out of 10 people, they'll just shrug it off. They'll just laugh about it. "Oh, you'll be all right, just finish your drink." But I think when you're in an environment that allows you to open up and talk, just like AndysManClub and probably a couple of other places, it really does help. No one judges you, no one laughs at you. And if anything, the amount of support that you get from being there is unreal. And it's not just like, honestly, AndysManClub, it's we meet on a Monday night. It's not just a Monday night. It's whenever you're feeling low, you pick up the phone, you message someone, or you put it on Facebook. And 10 out of 10 times, someone will be ringing you. Then I'd say half an hour, someone will be ringing you. Countless people will just checking if you're all right. That's the kind of environment that AndysManClub is. And I don't think you can get that anywhere else than like a pub or a school or a college or anything like that.
Don't talk about the feelings. So to give men a platform to talk, it is vital, to give them a place where they know they can go and they're not going to be judged. They know that everything's confidential and nothing leaves that room. And talk about whatever they like and whatever they need to talk about. It's fundamental, really. I'd encourage anybody to talk to anybody and everybody, but for a lot of lads, it's not realistic being able to talk to the people that they live with. They might be having relationship problems. That might be the reason that they're coming down in the first place. It might be that they feel embarrassed and they don't want to talk to the loved ones about it. It might feel that they don't want to burden them and then have to deal with that burden on a daily basis.
The fact that 3/4 of all suicides are men is the biggest killer of men under 50. When you think about that, the fact that one man every 2 hours takes his own life in this country alone, that only covers England and Wales. That doesn't cover Scotland and Ireland and Northern Ireland. That's frightening. One man every 2 hours. That could be avoided. That could be changed. That could be stopped. So, like I said, I think the service that AndysManClub provides is absolutely vital.
Just before we went into lockdown, we were having nearly 1,000 men a week attend those sessions. And I've watched it grow over the years from that first session where we had 9 lads in one club in a small place in Ovenden in Halifax. We've now got clubs as far up as Dundee in Scotland and all the way down to Plymouth. And like I said, from watching it build from 9 lads a week on week to nearly 1,000 lads as we had just before we went into lockdown, it's been staggering.
The effect that it's had on our groups were, as I said previously, mostly positive in that it developed as an online platform that we would never have previously had. We had to take all of our clubs online, obviously, during the first national lockdown with the stringent nature of its rules. Whereas we are now in a situation where under COVID-safe regulations, we can continue to meet. So we're really fortunate that as it stands at this moment in time, there's only 2 of our clubs that are not able to open, and that's down to venue restraints, and that's down to the issues themselves with the venues. But yeah, we're really, really fortunate that we're able to meet in a face-to-face venue. Obviously, we have to wear masks and sanitizer at distance and things like that. But, the fact that those face-to-face meetings and the atmosphere that's within those rooms can once again happen is phenomenal.
On men's mental health, I think it's got quite bad. Everything's gone basically, hasn't it? So you can't go to the gym, you can't do no workouts. Some people can't go see the family, the kids, and I think that's what's made things 10 times worse. A lot of people, myself included, they go to the gym, they work out, and they walk in feeling down, emotional. They come out feeling 100% better. So I think that's had a massive impact. people working from home, just looking at the four walls every day. And that's not helped people. Them staying open has been an absolute massive thing for like guys. And I've seen just through this lockdown, I've seen countless men come in, new people I've never seen before, never spoke to, and they've come in and said, like, I really need this because lockdowns, it's just really struggled. So I think that's the impact that's this COVID and this lockdown's really had.
AndysManClub's completely and utterly changed my life. The first thing that it did was open my mind to be able to speak about my issues. As I say, when I first arrived as a group user, I was one of those sort of stereotypical blokes who stuck my chin up and my chest out and pretended my problems and my feelings didn't really need that much acknowledgement. That whole stiff upper lip and don't show any weakness sort of attitude, to then going and opening up and talking, that immediately had a profound effect on me, and changed my outlook on life in lots of different ways. And to realise that there is no problem that's insurmountable. There is no problem that you can't get past. And then beyond there, to, like I said, to then be employed by the organisation, to getting out every single day of my life, seeing the benefit that this organisation's having on individuals, to see the benefit that talking and opening up is having on people is a massive thing, and it's something I'm enormously proud of. The biggest thing that I've learned is definitely it's okay to talk. There's no problem that's insurmountable. I've spoken and liaised with some people who are in some very dark moments in life, and to see where they're at now just shows the power of talking, and the power of opening up, and just how profound it can be on people.
I would not be the person I am today without the support that I've received from AndysManClub. Not only the support that I've received, but being able to help the hundreds of men that I have. It's added purpose to my life. It's given me confidence that I've never had before. And it's given, now that it's a full-time job for me, the job satisfaction is absolutely massive.
To open up, to speak up, I think that's the best thing that I could actually say to someone. I've spoken to a few people that, not in AndysManClub. I was in A&E a few, last year it was, and somebody come in and they'd hurt themselves, and they were talking about it to the mum. And obviously they were quite full at the time. I just had to message up on my phone, so I know what you're going through, obviously there is help out there. And I spoke to his mum afterwards. I gave him my wristband from AndysManClub and just said, there's help out there, you're not by yourself. And I've been best mates with him ever since. We talk every day, we help each other out. I think that's the main thing. You can just say to someone, I'm there for you. Open up, you can talk about it, it's totally fine.
The things that you're feeling at that moment in time, even though they are relevant and they need to be addressed and they need to be acknowledged, they're not going to be there forever. It will get better, no matter what issue it is that you're dealing with, no matter what problem or the perceived enormity of that problem, it will get better and it will change, and you will get to a time where life will improve.
It's not easy walking through that door for the first time, but what I will say is that every single man in the room has done that, and they've all walked through that door for the first time, so they understand how difficult it is. If you want to go down, just give it a try. Keep trying until you manage to get there, and you'll be welcomed with open arms. The guys will be more than happy to have you there, more than happy to share their problems and listen to you share yours as well. It's well and truly worthwhile. Whether it's through AndysManClub, whether it's through Samaritans, or whether it's through a friend or family member, just talk to somebody. You don't have to deal with it on your own. It's not practical to think that you can deal with it on your own. A problem shared is a problem halved, and there are people out there that are like you are struggling, who will understand, who will know what it's like. So just reach out and get that help that you need.